Coastal Carolina beats Arizona 7-4 in what can only be described as one fluky baseball game. It's Locked on Sunbelt.
You are Locked on Sunbelt, your daily podcast on the Sunbelt Conference, part of the Locked on Podcast Network, your team every day.
All right, Dave Schultz, Locked on Sunbelt, your teams every day. Today's episode, special bonus episode, brought to you by Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off your first purchase. Terms and conditions apply. All right, good thing I came home and watched the ball game, because just to tell you a reaction to the decision and the score, I would not have seen what happened. I did come home and watched the entire ball game. And I say this only because I've seen baseball. For those who don't know, I was a minor league baseball announcer. And of course, I've been a big baseball fan my entire life. And you just see things in baseball, and we see that all the time. You know, announcers see that. I come to the ballpark, I see something new all the time. And it is just a more fluky game, in this case, pun intended. And that game is much more than the decision than Kevin Schnall made to pitch Riley Eikoff. Let's get that out of the way. I don't necessarily agree with it. I understand why he did it. If we have Riley to pitch first game, then you have Jacob Morrison to pitch game 2, and then you have Cam Flukey to pitch game 3. The thing is, though, in my estimation, and Kevin Schnall knows much more than I do, all right? The thing is, by the time you get to a game 3, your opponent is pitching game 4. That's their fourth game. They're already playing an extra ball game. All right. And so this is a little different. That's a big difference. And so that's the difference of saying, let's have maybe your freshman All-American who was outstanding on Sundays move up to Fridays. That's a big difference. All right. Because Sundays you don't have your aces going, and he could be better than most of your Sunday starters. Then all of a sudden you move him up to Fridays, and he's going up against the Friday starter. That is one of the key differences between big league baseball, among others, and college baseball, is that the aces almost always line up in college ball, whereas they don't once you get going in pro ball. Whether it's off days, rainouts, someone misses a start, extra days rest, whatever the case may be. Very rarely do you get the top starters from each of the major league teams going up against each other, whereas in college baseball, that's always the case. Friday night starters are going against each other unless someone makes a change. And so that was where Coastal Carolina had this incredible advantage heading into this tournament. We'll see what happens moving forward. All right, I guess we're not going to worry about that until later on. Right? They don't have to. They'll get plenty of rest. That's Saturday. So that game 3 is until Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So they'll have 4 days rest. Usually it's 6, but 4 days isn't awful. And no one pitched a whole lot today or yesterday, as the case may be. All right, so we get that decision out of the way. I understand it. Didn't like it. To me, that's Kevin Schnall trying to be the smartest man in the room. I go with what works. I understand why he did it. All right. I was working in the middle of it. Couldn't really comment on it. Hey, this is why, this is why we have bookers. It was invented in 1988. Oh, and did you know Riley Eikoff is pitching for Coastal Carolina? I'm not sure that would have worked. So anyways, we get this. We get Riley Eikoff. Okay. But none of that mattered in this ball game. It may matter down the road. This is about as fluky as a game, and again, pun intended, as you can have. one team got first base for getting hit by a pitch. The other team did not. The replay looked exactly the same. No one moved his arm in. No one moved their arm out. I didn't get it. All right. Ben McDonald said, I guess the rule is, it used to be you had to get out of the way, at least in the big leagues. In college, you don't have to get out of the way. Alexander didn't get out of the way, didn't get first base. Arizona got hit by a pitch, he gets first base. All right. Think what Arizona did. Let me see what inning it is. As we are waiting, by the way, for this Louisville Oregon State ball game to end, and it is now a 3-2 ball game. Oregon State hanging on, runner on at first base for Louisville. All right. So this is Arizona missed a huge opportunity, although they did score twice in the inning. This is how fluky this inning was, and this was Cam Flukey, right? Hit by a pitch. Walton was hit by a pitch. That's the one who got first base, who probably shouldn't have. White was hit in the back. Can't do anything about that. All right. Guzman reached on a bunt single, which was a great bunt. I mean, past the pitcher, nobody's there. That loads the bases. All right. That loads the bases. Then they get another hit by pitch. You got to be kidding me. 3 hit by pitches in an inning. Oh, and they got a balk in there as well. I mean, this is crazy. So you got 3 hit by pitches. You got a balk, although the balk doesn't really matter. And then you have a infield out. You got a fielder's choice that scores a run. So you got a hit by pitch that brings home a run, and a fielder's choice that brings home a run. Then you get a strikeout and a ground out. I mean, they couldn't get a base hit with the runners on base. I mean, did the ball leave the infield? Right? Hit by pitch, bunt single, hit by pitch, fielder's choice, struck out, grounded to short. They scored 2 runs, and the ball did not leave the infield. That's crazy. But that's where Arizona missed an opportunity. I mean, you get 2 base hits there. They're looking closer to, 8 or 9 runs besides 4. And so instead of making it 4-3, it may be 6-3, 7-3. And so when Bodine comes back and ties the ball game up on a ground ball out, now it's 4-4. Now, I had wondered, same thing, why Arizona hadn't gone to Terry Pluta, their best pitcher, in the 8th inning. Well, if you watch the ball game, you would understand why. Because in the bottom half of the 7th inning, Hicks comes in with a runner on at third base, the potential winning run, although it's just the 7th. The go-ahead run for sure gets Thorndike to strike out and gets Pato to strike out. Boom, boom, boom. We go to the bottom half of the 8th inning. Ty Dooley lines out to short. We got a Dean Miho sighting. He grounds out to short. Well, Sykes. No balls, 2 strikes. No balls, 2 strikes. Hits a pitch down by his ankles. And I'm not sure it fell on the foul line, but certainly just inside of it. And it may have kicked off chalk, but just barely fair. He runs into second base. Alexander gets jammed, hits a flare into center field. Coastal takes the lead. They intentionally walk. I guess before that, they intentionally walked Bodine, and then they bring in Pluta. Again, just was named the best closer in America. Tough spot for that kid. Not a clean inning. But 2 on and 2 out, gives up a 2-run double. One of the hardest hit balls of the game, given up by the closer. And that makes it a 7-4 ball game. I mean, just craziness and flukiness. I mean, Owen Kramkowski, we didn't even get back to him. He pitched okay. He probably should have caught the bunt that fell in. That led to Coastal's 2 early runs. It's got to be an error. I understand that. It's not a base hit. All right. It's not a routine play, but he very easily could have caught that bunt. But that's how crazy this game was. Regardless of the decision to start Riley Eikoff, who was rocking and rolling as well, and then all of a sudden gives up an Oppo Taco on an 0-2 pitch that, was almost caught. Who's playing left? Was that Alexander? Yeah, I guess Alexander almost caught it. But it went out. And then he sort of lost it and gave up another run on a couple of base hits. But the most important thing is that Coastal Carolina does win the ball game 7-4. As much as I give credit to those other teams, Auburn and Arizona, it's Coastal that keeps on coming, right? That's the thing about Coastal Carolina. They kept on coming against ECU. They kept on coming against Auburn. They fall behind. They don't panic. They keep on coming. It does appear there's 2 outs now? Let me see here. Oh, goodness. This is a crazy ball game. This is live. It appears Louisville has tied the ball game up. They got a triple and a single, but they thought they had a caught stealing, but they called it safe. Then a RBI single, and they have tied things up. Louisville and Oregon State are 3-3. How about that? So Oregon State was leading this game heading into the top half of the 9th, 3-1. Trying to figure out this inning here because it appears that someone was caught stealing, but it appears he was I don't understand. But anyways, it is 3-3 Oregon State and Louisville. And again, you're either hot or you're good or you're both. Or Oregon's got, I don't know about Louisville's other pitcher. Oregon State's got a lefty waiting to go. That's not great for Coastal Carolina. I'm not sure about Louisville, although we may have to stall a little bit here and figure things out. We can keep on talking about this ball game. In fact, let's take a timeout. We'll keep on talking about this ball game because this other game may just keep on going, and we're not staying up to wait to find out the ending of it. All right. But it is 3-3, top half of the 9th. Louisville has tied up Oregon State. All right. Let's take a timeout. Let me tell you a little bit about Gametime. There's nothing like the NBA playoffs, the intensity, the buzzer beaters, the fans losing their minds. It's a kind of atmosphere and must experience live, and this year's matchups already delivering. If you want in, Gametime makes it fast and easy to get seats, even for the biggest playoff games. Prices on the app actually drop closer to tip-off, and with killer last-minute deals, panoramic seat views, and no surprise fees, Gametime is a total game changer. Just to let you fans know, Sunday's game at 6 p.m. local time, 7 p.m. Eastern for Coastal Carolina, less than $40 right now on the Gametime app. Go check it out. Less than $40 plus fees right now on the Gametime app. What a great way to celebrate Father's Day. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code LOCKEDONCOLLEGE for $20 off. Download the Gametime app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. All right, Dave Schultz, Locked On Sunbelt, your teams every day. All right, we are waiting, and Oregon State's making a pitching change. So meanwhile, maybe we can figure out who Louisville would be pitching. We talked about that yesterday. Let me see if we can figure that out. They did start Patrick Forbes tonight, who pitched pretty well. Not great. 5 1/3 innings, 3 runs, struck out 10. So he pitched okay. Not great. Let's see if we can find out who would be up if they do win. We can tell you more about Oregon State's pitching. Okay, so it would be either you do have Ethan Eberle, and I think that is that it. Is that the guy? That's not the guy. That's one guy. Patrick Forbes, Ethan Eberle. Oh, and Tucker Biven. Okay, that's the other guy. All right. Let's see if any of these guys are left-handed, which is the big thing. Tucker is right-handed, and let's see here. And Ethan would be going on regular rest. He started the super regional final. He is a left-hander. All right. So he could go. All right. And if I know this and other people know this, especially other fans of Sunbelt teams know that Coastal has trouble with lefties. I don't have the stats in front of me. I don't know if the stats are available. But they seem to have issues with left-handed pitchers. Nonetheless, let's keep on going over this other ball game while we wait for this game to end. They did get out of it. So it is going to the bottom half of the 9th inning, tied at 3, Louisville and Oregon State. So Oregon State with a chance to win it. The winner takes on Louisville, 7 p.m. Eastern. Sorry, the winner takes on Coastal Carolina, 7 p.m. Eastern time, 6 p.m. Central time on Sunday night. And then that winner goes to Wednesday, whereas, again, the losers have to play that extra ball game. All right. Okay. Again, I'm not really thrilled with the decision. We can go back to that. I don't mind saying that. Again, Kevin Schnall knows much more about baseball than I do. That's easy to say. All right. But sometimes these coaches can get in their head and they overthink it. And I think Coastal Carolina had a huge advantage when it comes to the depth of the pitching staff. And we're gonna find out about the depth of that pitching staff. If Jacob Morrison does win, we'll find out what happens on Wednesday. All right. Let me see if we got the numbers. I will tell you this. Let me see what we got here. Eikoff, Eikoff went 4 innings, only 45 pitches. So he was kind of economical. Cam Flukey had the one bad inning. He went 71 pitches in 4 innings. Carbone pitched, and he got into trouble immediately, by the way. We didn't even bring up that, right? We didn't bring up that at all. I mean, the tying run came to the plate. It was 1st and 3rd and nobody out. The tying run was at the plate. And Carbone got out of it. All right. Got, I think it was a strikeout and a double play right to the second base bag. I mean, that's like the 3rd straight game that's happened. Well, not the 3rd straight game. Auburn had happened twice in the same game, right? Double play to Barthol at second base. So, I mean, again, just a fluky ball game. I've been actually looking for, and I haven't found it yet, Kevin Schnall's explanation for the decision to start. Now, Riley didn't pitch the weekend in the Super Regional, so obviously well rested. All right. Maybe 1 extra day rest for Cam Flukey, but obviously not because he pitched today, so no big deal. And again, the numbers don't look great, and the hit by pitches are a little bit off. but he didn't get beat up or anything like that. He wasn't giving up a bunch of base hits. The 2 runs came in with, what did we say, like 3 hit by pitches, a balk, and a ground out. So it's kind of just really weird, a really weird baseball game, right? We'll see what Jacob Morrison can do. Again, if he's going up against the really good left-hander against Oregon State and Ethan Kleinschmidt, it's going to have to be, tit for tat. He's given up a grand total of 3 earned runs in his last 3 ball games. No runs on a hit against Long Beach State in 6 innings. 2 runs on 5 hits in 7 2/3 innings against St. Mary's. 1 run, 2 runs, 1 earned on 2 hits in 6 innings against Florida State. You want to go back an outing against Iowa, 4 2/3, gave up 3 runs, 2 earned. Right. Maybe he figured something out because it had all been, 3 runs, 3 runs, 3 runs, 4 runs, So he's pitched well his last 3 outings. Really good. 7 strikeouts in 6 innings. 6 strikeouts in 7 2/3 innings. Struck out 11 Seminoles in the did they win that ball game? They lost that ball game 3-1. So they did lose. He did lose that ball game 3-1, but really good. He's really good. So we shall see how this ball game turns out. Again, really shouldn't be doing play-by-plays, 1 on and 1 out in the bottom half of the 9th inning. And again, the best part, as I did see some Coastal Carolina fans post, the best part about playing 1 o'clock local time on Friday, although some fans may not be able to get to that game because people do have jobs and have to work, is now you get to wait until Sunday. You get to go to that Louisville ball game if you wanted to, if you're there. You get to enjoy all the games on Saturday and not worry about it. You get to enjoy the first game on Sunday and not worry about it. Are there multiple games on Sunday? Let me see. Let's see here. We have, no, there is a 1 p.m. game on Sunday. All right. So, that's it. There are, in between you playing your first game, Coastal Carolina, and you playing their second game, 1, 2, 3, 4 ball games. That's a lot of baseball to watch and enjoy without you worrying about your game. You really get to get a sense and a feel for Omaha without being consumed and obsessed with your own game. That's the best part. All right. So that's pretty good. That's a fun time. All right. Let's take a time out. We'll talk about the other side of the bracket. We really haven't talked about that at all. Let's talk about the other side of the bracket while we're at it. We'll do that right after. Once again, I say thank you. We're still growing. We're almost up to 2,010 subscribers. Really appreciate that. Keep those audio downloads coming. Apple Podcast, Spotify, really a big help. I am working Saturday, bartending this time, but I am not working on Sunday, so I will be able to watch the game live, have the podcast right afterwards, so that'll be good. Supposed to be off on Saturday, but a friend wanted to switch. I think we'll get a nice bottle. But anyways, off on a side note, really do appreciate the support. We'll keep on going for as long as they're in it. I think I already have as many shows that I need in the month. But as long as Coastal Carolina is in it, we will keep on doing podcasts each and every day. We will do some football coming up. Nobody really liking Arkansas State. I may be the biggest supporter of Arkansas State. Everyone loves JMU and the Cajuns in Texas State. I'm loving Arkansas State. I may be wrong. But we'll start to do some other things as well. Maybe we can get the new baseball coach on for ULM, Ford Pemberton. We'll see. Lots more to do. Thanks so much. Please like, share, and subscribe, all that good stuff. It is appreciated. Thank you. All right, Dave Schultz, Lockdown Sunbelt, your teams every day. Another update. Oregon State beats Louisville 4-3. A double, a one-out double after a single, and Oregon State wins. So it'll be Oregon State and Louisville. So it's probably going to be Jacob Morrison and Ethan Kleinschmidt on Sunday at 6 p.m. So it will be Sunbelt Pitcher of the Year against a very tough lefty. So stay tuned for that. And again, these numbers are no joke. In 86 and a third innings pitched, 106 strikeouts, and only 33 walks. He does not give up a lot of anything. 60 hits in 86 and the third innings pitched. Coastal Carolina beats Oregon State and Ethan Kleinschmidt. It's going to be a game. It's going to be a well-earned victory. That's a big-time matchup for Coastal Carolina. All right, the other side of the bracket, which we just have not talked about at all, of course, is the darlings of the tournament, Murray State. They're getting UCLA. That is the first game up on Saturday. Murray State coming in. What is it? The OVC, I think, right? They went out and beat Ole Miss in that regional, and then they went and beat Duke. Georgia lost is what happened. And so they ended up beating Duke in Durham. And so Murray State is taking on UCLA. And then the two SEC teams happen to be bracketed against each other. I'm sure they're not all that thrilled about that. But LSU is taking on Arkansas. A lot of people have Arkansas favored. In fact, they may have been the betting favorite coming into this. And I find that interesting because they don't have the good pitching in this. Maybe they have the great lineup, I guess. But, I mean, Coastal's pitching is better than Arkansas, and LSU's pitching is much better than Arkansas's. Did they beat? I don't know if they played. I'm not going to sit here and bother and look at it right now, but I presume it's going to be Cade Anderson going against Arkansas, and he's basically slated to be the first pick in the draft. And again, from what I saw, I thought I saw Arkansas's pitching wasn't all that great. Was that me? Was I looking at the wrong numbers? Because it didn't seem to be all that good. I could be wrong. I don't know. Let me see here. Pitching, Zach Root is solid, 8-5, 3.59 ERA, 92 and a 2/3 inning pitch, 77 hits. That's good. 31 walks, 119 strikeouts. He's very good. Those are very solid numbers. Gabe Gakel, 4-2 with a 4.76 ERA. That's not great. 62 and a third innings pitch, 56 hits. That's pretty good. 28 walks, 78 strikeouts. Pretty good. So that's 30 walks, 80 strikeouts, so 2.5 to 1 there. And I'm not going to be able to say Landon's last name, but he's almost got a 5 ERA. 4-0, 56 and 2/3 innings pitch, 56 hits, 19 walks, 60 strikeouts. So that's 3 to 1. Opponent's not hitting very well against them, so they're not bad. 221, 237, 263. All right. Looks like they have a good pen, is what they look like they have. They have very good relievers. And they do hit a bunch of home runs. Their whole lineup is filled with home run hitters. That's where it is. All right, Arkansas, 13 home runs, 14 home runs, 20 home runs, 15 home runs, 13 home runs, 14 home runs, 14 home runs. The low guy is Justin Thomas Jr. with 9. So that's where it is. So their whole lineup is filled with home runs. They have one guy with 70 RBIs, 2 guys with 60 RBIs, and 2 other guys with 57 and 59 RBIs. So that's why Arkansas is going to slug their way to a championship because they don't have the pitching. But that's where those numbers come from. So we'll see what happens. We'll see if Murray State, I mean, when Duke beat Georgia, I thought that Murray State could beat Duke. I didn't even know anything about Duke. I just didn't think Duke was all that great. Wasn't Duke like the 3rd seed? So I thought they could beat Duke. And they did. Because they hung on to beat. We're watching that Ole Miss game, and it was a 12-3 ball game, right? Something like that. And they somehow withstood hanging on to beat them 12-11. I mean, you can do that. If you can do that, you can beat Duke. Why not go out and see if you can take down UCLA, and then we'll see what happens against LSU and Arkansas. I mean, LSU just lost to Little Rock in a ball game, and they needed everything they could muster to beat Little Rock. In fact, when LSU starts talking about Little Rock, they start getting a lot of respect. Like, those guys can hit, they can pitch, they can field. LSU's just better. All right. I don't think there's any shame in that. And so they were like, these guys were pretty good. They were impressed. And so we'll see what happens over there. So it's Murray State and UCLA up first, and then Arkansas and LSU up second. Again, the big news, as far as we're concerned, Coastal Carolina takes down Arizona. Riley Eikoff started. Cam Flukey actually did go into the 9th. Carbone finished it off. Got into a little bit of trouble with a tying run at the plate, but no runs scored. And Coastal Carolina wins at 7-4. Louisville comes from behind to tie Oregon State, but the Beavers do win it in the bottom of the 9th, 4-3. So Coastal will take on Oregon State Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. Central Time. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in. Enjoy the baseball. I will be watching live on Sunday. Looking forward to a nice day off on the weekend. Don't get too many of those whatsoever. So enjoy the baseball all day. And we get to watch a little U.S. Open golf as well. All right. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the support. Really do appreciate it. You've been watching Locked On Sunbelt, your teams every day.